Hey folks, Pastor Bristol Smith here. You know, when you think it can't get any worse, it does. You know, the National Archives in Arizona has now put a warning label on the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, stating that it contains harmful content and strong language that might be offensive to some people. You know, the reason why they put that warning label on it is because it talks about God in both of those documents. It talks about how this nation was built on God, and they don't want the kids of America learning how this beautiful nation was built on God. Folks, they are trying to take God out of everything. That's why you've got pastors that's being kicked off of TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and everything else. Because the pastors and preachers of America is trying to put this nation back on God, and they don't like it. The left, I'm sorry, you cannot be a Democrat and be a Christian. You just can't, because the two policies don't go together. God has laws and doctrines that He wants us to live by, and it seems like the left goes against every single law that God has listed in His Word. They are trying to rip apart the very foundation that our country was built on. Folks, it's time to take a stand. It's time to stop being cowards, and it's time to take a stand for God. It's time to take a stand. The reason why they put a warning label on there is because it mentions God. They do not want you to know that this nation was built on God. Period. That's simple. Folks, we've sat back for too long. We've sat back and took this abuse. We've sit back and took it too long, and it's time to stand up and fight. I ain't talking about hands and weapons. I'm talking about it's time to lift our banners high. It's time to lift our banners high and declare the Word of God. Stop voting all of these liberals into office that don't respect God, that don't respect His Word. Vote in God-fearing Christians. If they don't stand for the Word, we don't stand for them. That ought to be America's policy, because that was our founding fathers' policy.